Hi! Here comes my second fire. I'm gonna unload it. I already saw that my green glaze looks better, but I might have overdone the thickness because it's starting to run, and this is just the top of the kiln where things are cool. So let's see what happened. All right, well, first of all, my raspberry bowls come out so good. Thank God for raspberry, woo! Still a little bit hot, it's 150 degrees. And that's all right, I can touch them. This looks nice. These will all be at my sale tomorrow. So I'm gonna unload them and then I will be sanding the bottoms and putting them out on the shelf. Yeah, this looks better. My sapphire blue is much bluer. Last time it was kind of like on the thin green side. I'll show you what it comes out like when it's too thin. Here it is on the top. This is my sapphire glaze where it's thin, which is not bad. It's like kind of an earthy green. And my purple looks really nice. I'm happy about that. Okay. This was an old test that was just sitting around and I just happened to have room for it. It's a broken piece of a bowl and I used it as a test for these crawl glazes, lichen. I have this lichen glaze. They all look pretty dry, but I think I can find my notes to see what that is all about. This is nice and blues. It's pretty, huh? So it's kind of just like a very random shape that I played with. These pots, they have a flat bottom, so they're all the way through. That looks like it's a separate foot, but it's not. It's just another ounce or two of coffee or whatever you're drinking. Yeah, these all look better. This is my Amy's blue glaze and it's still not looking quite right. I have like 5 different blue glazes. This is sapphire, this is turquoise, Amy's blue. Oh, the sapphire is really runny, so we might have some problems down a little bit lower. Let's see how it goes. It could have run, because if it's this runny at the top of the kiln, yeah, we could have some problems down under. But the top looks really good. Makes me a little nervous when the top looks good. Okay, and then this glaze bubbled and that's a second. It has like a little volcano lava in there from just too much glaze. Too much stuff happening in the bottom of that bowl. Okay, oh yeah, I want to set this up so there's also a time-lapse thing happening over here. So I want to set that up a little bit better. Okay, these are big mugs. Big mugs. Bring it closer. And like that. There we go. One time I had an astrology reading with Joanna Mitchell, my favorite astrologer, who passed away several years ago. But she said that when she looked at my chart, this one, look at how goopy globby that is. She said that when she looked at my chart, she saw filmmaker. So I think this is probably about as close as I'm going to get to being a filmmaker, is making my own little videos, my lives and my reels and my whatever, time lapses. Okay, I think I can do this. Now I've shown this before, but I'll show it again. Before I take a shelf out, this one is quite hot actually, I check to make sure it's not attached to the post beneath it. So I can now, I've touched all 3 of these posts and I know that they're separated. So I can have confidence other than the heat of the shelf. I can't find my gloves. I think the rat's made off with my gloves. These ones are kind of cumbersome and thick, but maybe I can use them. These are really raccoon gloves. But I like to use just a pair of garden gloves in the studio, but I just don't know where mine are. So let me see if I can get this without too much awkwardness, without ruining my filmmaker activities. So by checking that, oh, there the Amy's blue looks good. What am I trying to say? Then I can confidently lift this shelf out if I know that it's not attached to the post below. That's why I check it, to make sure that I'm not going to be lifting one of these heavy posts up with me, which could then just drop straight down into the pot below and break it. Nobody wants that, especially not me. So let me see with this one too. Oh, see how it's stuck to the post. Just see. That one was stuck until I picked it up. That's fine, and that one's fine. Okay. All right. I'm doing some creative refiring. Some of the glazes didn't really come out not so good. For example, I'm gonna leave these, but well, around the rim, this glaze just was not mixed well when I was first starting, like my very first round. They're like all crackly and weird. So here's what I'm doing. Let's see if I can do it without making a mess of things. Hold on. So what I'm doing here is, now the pot is hot, so this is a really good time to do it. I'm just going to go over that. And I'm going to refire this. The reason I'm doing it now is because the pot is hot. If I set it aside, you know what you can do is, I could sit it on a hot kiln shelf and it'll stay warm for a bit. But I'm just doing it now. Okay. Okay. I will refire that one, but not all of them. I thought this other one looked okay. Yeah, this one looks fine. But sheesh, this glaze came out weird. And that's my sage glaze, looking better than the first fire, definitely. Still not perfect, but better. And that's the direction we want to be going in, is the better direction. These look good. Happy with those. It has a really nice milky white blue thing that it does, kind of oceanic. Amy's blue. And then I did some little tests with my sapphire and my sage just to make sure they were doing okay, because I had to rebalance the water in the bucket, and now they look much better, much better, much better. Very happy with those. Okay. Let's see, I can't even tell who's here or anything. Oh, Ruth, you're here. Hi. Ruth. So glad you exist. Okay. So if I'm going too quickly, or if you have questions, feel free to slow me down or ask me things. This is all to get ready for my first real sale. I've had some sales of like, kind of like, I still have some back stock. So I've had those kinds of sales for a few years. Okay, that one's off. Ow, that's hot. That one's off. And, woo, let's see here. This is my glove. And that one is off. Okay, so I know it's dislodged. Here's these big, ridiculous gloves. I can't really get my fingers in to use these gloves, you know? Okay, let's see here. Sounds like mugs under there. See if I can get this out. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes, mugs. Now, here's where we could be getting into some problems with these runny glazes. Looks okay. They look great. They look good. That's what you want to think when you open your kiln. They look good. Okay, let's see here. See how hot these puppies are. Pretty hot. Pretty hot. Let me go get, I don't know if rubber gloves will melt, but let me see. I have like too thick and too thin. I need my Goldilocks gloves. I don't think it's too hot to melt it. Okay. Okay. Let's see if that makes any difference at all, that I can maybe grab a pot with these gloves on. Maybe just a little bit, just enough. Yeah, there's my blue. Everything's looking better. Just barely makes a difference. Woo! Still quite hot. Okay, gloves, where are you? You know when like somebody takes your gloves and you're like, why'd you take my gloves? I think that's what happened. Somebody took my gloves. Ooh, look at that beauty. That's so pretty. Pat, are you talking about this blue that you like? Isn't it so nice? There's some really nice ones coming out here right now. If I say that, I really mean it. I just don't, I'm so picky. And I want them all to be like, oh my gosh. Like that is really nice, I think. Really happy with that. Okay. Get some room over here on my shelves. Stacking some bowls, make some room for all these mugs. Okay, let's see what's gonna happen here. That's pretty. Okay. I'm gonna hold them all up so you can see. If there's anyone that you're like, oh my gosh, I must have that mug, then let me know. And I'll be able to figure out which one it is because of the genius of these live videos doing times. Ooh, I think I might have to, I need to bring in some ice cubes. Here's this one, mostly turquoise, very pretty. And then this is just coming out so crazy. This is actually a sage glaze, but it's so high in tin that if it's near anything with chrome in it, it blushes pink. So my sage glaze is coming out this kind of like pinky rose colored. And I'm just like loving these pebbly bumps. It was funny because when I made it, when I was making them, it was not my favorite of the textures. But now that they're fired, I'm really loving it. And this was a flower pattern, but it's kind of disappeared under the glaze. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, and like also this one was not my favorite of the textures, but It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's kind of like a maze. Okay, and this also, I said this on my last live video, but I did not like these when they weren't unfired. And the fired ones are really nice. Yeah, I like them with the lines. I think it came out great. Really fun. So for those of you who don't know, I'm just back to doing pottery after a big break. And I'm trying new things. So these are not my traditional forms. This would be a traditional form and my traditional style. Oh, not with that big bloop. There's a second right there. Somebody's going to get lucky and get a second. When it runs like that, I can't sell it as a first. So it's half off. But anyway, that's my old style, is with this swirl pattern. And now I'm just doing different shapes and different glaze treatments. This came out great. Here's my old style. All right, old style, old style. It's really interesting. Again, my sage glaze looking like some other glaze. Doesn't look anywhere near sage yet. That one is really lovely. I don't know which one you're talking about, Sandy, but thank you. All right, I'm getting warm in here at the kiln. Take off my hat. I didn't catch any rats last night. I put out all this Thanksgiving poison for them and they didn't touch it. I put a time lapse so I could catch them and see what they were doing. Nothing. Here's some nice blues. Woo, hot. Ding dong. These pots also, some of them are heavier than what I normally would make. Ooh, this one's very mysterious. Okay, that's a nice mug. That's like a unique, really nice mug right there. Let's see if this is working. Yeah. Okay. Suddenly I got interested in my time lapse, but that was one of the nicer turquoise mugs I've seen in these batches. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I gotta move something. I gotta do my filmmaking over here. Boy. Okay, you go back. You go back. And you come closer. Is that good? Let's see here if I can get you up there. Pat, want the drinking glass? Alas, already too many mugs. You mean, Pat, you want something that doesn't have a handle? Or you want something that you actually already saw? Ooh. Okay, this is my old style and my new style all together. It's got the texture on the bottom, which is very cool, but it's got the swirl. And this, again, my sage glaze came out really strange, but this reminds me kind of like a French provincial something or other. I don't know if that's the right word, but anyway, it kind of has this lacy look and feel to it. Very cute. And it also is very new for me to be making these tiny little mugs. And so... Pat, most of what I have is mugs. That's mostly what I did. I did make some teacups, like these. I have some little teacups. But mostly mugs, because that's what mostly sells. And it's what I was mostly out of. But I have a pretty good selection of teacups still in stock from the olden days. Plus, oh, actually a lot coming through here too. This came out nice. Wow. Look at how purple that is. I don't know what I did there. Cool. This one's really nice. How the texture came out. I like the scrolls. I do that. Uh-oh. Please aim your camera down so we get less of the back of the studio. lose all of the, Okay, let me see if I can face it down into the kiln a little bit. Pat, you're always really good at the direction. I appreciate how directive you can be. You're a seeker of quality experience. Here, let me see what I can do here. Reorganizing. Let's see this one. Can you get in there? That's better. Okay, and then you, let me see, Pat. Aim your camera down a little bit better, I think is what you're asking for. Oh, I'm always happy to try to help. Let's see how that is. I feel like this whole thing's just gonna fall right into the kiln. Ah! There it goes. Okay. Maybe like that. The thing is, I won't be able to see what you say anymore, but let me know if that seems better. And maybe I'll be able to tell. Ooh, I really like this one. Isn't that nice? So fun to do new stuff. Ooh, and this one again is it's really the sapphire glaze, but it looks this olive green, this deep olive green. And there's something kind of cool about it. You gotta admit. All right. Now, every time we go to a lower level, there's always this chance that all of a sudden everything's gonna be like running onto the shelves, because this is good. It's bowls. Bowls usually won't run. Oh, it's so hot. Okay. Okay. So that was stuck. Gotta find the post underneath. That one's off. And that one's off. Okay. Now, big bad gloves. Plus, I have to be very careful for this thermocouple to not ding it on the way out. Plus, I can't ding the walls. So you have to be really careful taking these hot shelves out. Not that they're hot, but just taking shelves out in general. So I exhale. Okay. There we go. Ruth, I think I saw you say, maybe somewhere back there, that you are a teacher. I don't know if you said that, but I thought you said something about your students. Something just fell in there just now. Amy's blue is looking really good. I'm feeling really happy about that. Here's my purple, also doing great. Ooh, that's nice on the outside, isn't it? Ooh, that bowl is so pretty on the outside. Just 2 more layers, this one and the next one. So even if I haven't seen yet, like if somebody says like, I really want that purple, whatever, I will see it later. I don't have to see it now to be able to respond. So feel free to write whatever you want and I should be able to get to it. But make sure it's a real request as opposed to, that's a nice one. If you just say that's a nice one, I'll just say thanks. But if you actually have an interest in having the pot for yourself and you want me to save it for you, then you gotta say something a little bit more than that's a nice one. Okay, so here's the first one that ran a little bit. Not so bad, that's completely grindable and will not be a problem. So what I do is I'm gonna sit this on my shelf upside down. So it's a note to self that the bottom of this pot needs to be ground, and that's on a bench grinder. And that will still be a first. That doesn't have to be a second. It's not bad enough. Here's my green coming out just right. I'm so glad all the glazes stabilized with just a little bit better mixing. Yay, glazes, go glazes. Okay. I'll take you for a tour of all the unloaded pots here in a moment when I get them all out. So fun. These are my rolled rim bowls. So cool. So different, so new, so fun. I'm running out of room over here on my shelves. Raspberry always looks good. Okay, I can pick that up. But where will I put it? Okay, here we go. It's kind of like a little bit of magic, always creating room. Somehow you can always create room. Okay, and now this one has that little bit of sapphire that sometimes I can just kind of flick it off with my finger. There, that one went. Otherwise I'll have to get a screwdriver and get that out, these little pieces of glaze. Okay, I got most of it. Oh, but here's some more. This shelf needs to be touched up. Okay, so now I'm going to do my thing again of finding the posts underneath, touching them all, and making sure they are dislodged from the shelf. Got it. All three are off. This one, I feel like I can pick that one up myself, but not myself, but without the gloves. But you don't want to pick it up and then after like 3 seconds feel your fingers burning and the need to drop the shelf. So let's use these gloves. I just made a video about how I do this and put my weight on the kiln, and everybody says don't do it, but it really works for me. Okay, the bottom layer, what do we got? Looks great. Looks great. Okay. So the first thing that catches my eye is this. And I was kind of doing a little experiment with these dots, and I actually really like them. And I think that it goes really nicely with this form, because I'm still trying to figure out what's the best way to glaze this form of these facets. Like, how do I bring those facets to life and really highlight them and give them, you know, not glaze the pot like ignoring the fact that there's facets. So something like this, I think might be, I'd still like a little more activity there, not just that line. I don't like when there's just a line. You can see that line between the raspberry and the sage glaze. But something like this, I'm happy with that. Happy with that concept. You're seeing it happen here. The development. Ooh, this one's pretty too. Again, that's the sage glaze that's coming out like rose. And these were my tests to make sure that these glazes were doing okay. So far, everything except for that sage has really stabilized, which is 3 out of the 4 glazes that were kind of a little bit, I call them off in the first round. My first fire. This is just the second fire. And it takes a while to do tests and see how things are going. Here's the last mug. Ooh! Blues, very beautiful. I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with these faceted mugs. I think I have to pour my coffee into one of them. Okay. And a few bowls. Here's a sapphire bowl. And a purple bowl. Today I have to call Seattle Pottery Supply and order my next year's worth of clay, I think. And last one, greens and blues. All right, folks, that's it. I will take you over to see the shelves for a quick view of what has transpired here this morning. everything needs to be gone through and sanded and all that. But let me see here. Take you out. And I'll be able to read now. I can read everything. Oh, somebody wants something about the lighter green bull. Anyway, I'm not a teacher. Taking classes in Salem. Oh, you live in Salem? Okay. So anyway, I will. Oh, Jess, you're there. Hi. Okay, so anyway, hi everybody. Now there's 9 people here. So here's all the stuff that just got unloaded from the kiln. Lots of mugs, some stacks of bowls, some more bowls. You can't see them as well because they're kind of stacked up. But everything there. That'll all be on my shelves for sale tomorrow. Aw, Pat. I'm glad you love it. It's fun for me too. It's really exciting. Now that they're out, I'm gonna just look at some of them. Like, this is very interesting. I really have no idea what's going on here. It must be my purple over my sapphire with some of my waterfall green on there. But I don't know if you can really get a view of what that looks like. You know, some things are hard to see without the sunlight. But that looks really cool to me. This was definitely a favorite from this fire. It's a cute little mug. By the way, this camera is reversed, so the swirls are going to look backwards. But I'm really happy with that. And then there was this one that has these kind of like peacock eyes on it. And Pat, you're so funny. So anyway, yeah, they're just looking great. I really like this pebble look. I thought I was going to abandon that, but now that I see them fired, I feel very drawn to them. So I'll be doing more of that. This one I think is very nice. Ooh, look at that. That is just really nice. Okay. So I'm very happy, very, very happy. I have all my little teacup tests over here that just came out. I'm going to compare them with a photo that I took when I was glazing them to see what I did and what I liked the best, and then make a note of it. And then here's a little pile of seconds and things that need help, and you know, things that I'll either keep myself. My tendrils. Oh, is my hair sticking down a little bit? Yeah. Thanks, Pat. My fashion, my style. Okay, well, I'm going to get to work setting up my booth. Sales tomorrow. It's going to be for 3 Saturdays. Tomorrow and then the first 2 Saturdays in December here at my home. If you don't know the address, send me a message and I will send you the address. I can also ship pots online. I mean, not ship them online, ship them in the mail. And yeah, just glad to have you guys on my ride here and all the support I've been getting. And I think I'm making money now off of just making videos, which is crazy because I love to do it. And yeah, that's just amazing if that happens. I think it is happening. Okay, I'll be back later with something else, something different. Maybe I'll do a time lapse of me setting my booth up, which is a lot of work. Okay, bye. Thanks for coming.